What's up guys, Gaonan here, and welcome to episode 3 of Drafting to Masters. If you missed episode 2, I've included it in the top right corner of this video. As I've said before, I started this series for two reasons. One was to share my draft knowledge, and two was to have some fun. I won't bore you with my same old spiel, so let's get drafting. Pack one, pick one. No exciting commons for us to look at. Uncommons are pretty underwhelming, and Sword of Unity is arguably the best weapon in the game. Changey Stick might have something to say about that. You know, the thing I don't love about Sword of Unity is that it locks you into Combray. So not sure if we're actually going to play the card, but it's definitely worth picking. So that we see if we get there and can include it in our deck, because the power level is very high. Kind of an interesting pick here. I don't think NICKV is worth looking into in draft. Illumination Wisp, Workshop Tinker, and Wormstone are the three cards I'm looking at here. And I'm going to pick Workshop Tinker over the Wormstone and Illumination Wisp. I just want to be a little bit more aggressive, and I like being able to discard extra power to create the Tinker and create bigger guys. So I'm going to take Workshop Tinker here. Jack's Choice is a very powerful card. Conditional removal. There are a lot of weapons in the format, but usually still gets you your target. No real-time cards except Death Strike, and I think I'm just going to take another Workshop Tinker here. Nothing is pulling me in another direction besides maybe Jack's Choice. So given that we have Sword of Unity, we want to be in Combray, I'm going to take the Workshop Tinker here. Okay, Dusk Raider is very strong. Berserk is a very strong keyword in draft. I also like Hot Blood Barbarian and Cut Ties. And I'm going to pick the Dusk Raider here because it's a pretty unique effect. So we have options here. We could go for another 2-drop with Learned Herbalist. We could go for another Workshop Tinker. And we could also go for Purge Leader here. Moonlight Huntress is also an option, but not one that I love. Just because Nightfall, it's a double-edged sword basically. So I prefer to look at either the Justice cards, and Purge Leader is probably strong enough to take it over everything else here. So I'm going to take Purge Leader. Both Guard Dog and Scavenging Spikeback work in this Huru plan we've got going on now. Guard Dog is solid. I think I like Spikeback a little bit more, so I'm going to take it here. Standard is fantastic for our deck, so we'll pick that up. Darkstalker also makes sense here. Kind of makes me wish I had taken the Nightfall Flyer as well, but not a big deal. I don't love Silverwing Augmenter, but it can just win you the game sometimes. But I'm likely not going to play it. But I think it's worth taking over everything else. Alright, get a solid Guard Dog here. These are kind of autopilot picks at this point. Into pack 2, we've got Amber Acolyte, we've got Strength of Many, we've got Entrapment, we've got Slush Dumper. The one thing about packs 2 and 3 is that you can get some really strong Yeti synergies going. So I like picking Slush Dumper here just because the sooner you pick it, you know, the more all in you can go in on that plan. I think it's worth taking over Entrapment, which is kind of mediocre removal, and Strength of Many. So I'm going to take Slush Dumper here. Alright, Jotun Cyclops is a very strong card. Deepwood Ranger, do we have anything that has 2 keywords? Not at the moment. Only Purge Leader has the potential to. Cyclops is just solid all around. One thing I love about this format is that when you're attacking, sometimes your opponent doesn't know if you're trying to tribute or are you trying to spark, and Jotun Cyclops fits in very well with that plan. Snowballs are very, very relevant. There's a lot of X1s in this format that you want to get rid of, things like Living Example. So, very good card. Some good Yetis coming through, as I mentioned. I like Snow Slinger more than I like Crafty Yeti. Once again, getting a snowball is not irrelevant. And I like both of these Yetis more than I like Silverwing Familiar at this point. We don't have any weapons to get stuck on the Silverwing Familiar, so the Yeti synergies are going to be more important, I think. Strength of Many is a solid trick, so I'll just pick that up here. Otherwise, I would pick Kopesh if Strength of Many was not here. Lightning Strike is good removal, so I like that. Nothing that I'm going to play here, so I'll just pick the Herald Song in case I need to play it. We're not splashing at the moment for anything, but if we pick up the Rakano banner, we could potentially splash a Welding Torch or something like that. I'll take 2 of them. Copper Hall Porter is a decent 2-drop, helps you curve out and everything like that, so I like picking this up here over Militant. Nothing for us here. Gaonan is a solid 2-drop, plays very defensively. Now we're into pack 3. Minotaur Oathkeeper is solid, I like it a lot, more than anything else in this pack. Torgov is a great pickup here. All 3 of these cards are very strong, but Torgov is definitely the strongest. Late game, he could just be ginormous because you and your opponent have just been trading blows back and forth. So really like getting this pickup here. So this time around, I am going to take this entrapment. So far, we just have lightning strike and some random snowballs for removal. So entrapment, not the worst thing in the world. Here I'm going to pick up the more aggressive Argenport Soldier over the Copper Hall Porter. And we'll take a Crafty Yeti to have some card selection in our deck. And once again fits into that plan of, are you trying to spark or are you trying to tribute? Some more Yetis coming through, so we like that. Snowballs are great. Frontier Confessor is a great card. Really nice pickup. Here I'm going to take the flyer. We don't have a ton of flyers at the moment, so we're going to need some way to close out the game, and Silverwing Smith might just be it. Northwind Herald is fine. Might not play it, but still okay to pick there. Valkyrie Militant is fine too, and Gaonan is fine. So we didn't get the strongest of Yeti synergies. You know, Slush Dumper is the strongest thing we got, but we didn't get any Slope Sergeants or anything like that. Saddle Up is a decent trick. It's not the best, but we don't have very many tricks at this point. So I think I like it more than I like Advanced Scout and Snowfort Trumpeter. I would probably pick Advanced Scout over the Trumpeter, so... but given that Saddle Up is here, I'm going to take it instead. It's not likely going to make the deck because we only have 2 guys with Endurance, but still worth picking up there. Nice, some really good Primal cards coming through. Kind of heavy on the 4-drop slot and kind of weak on the 3-drop slot. Yeah, we're really good on 2-drops. So 3-drop it is. Shaman is not bad. It is, you know, holds the ground well, allows you to win in the air. So I'm going to pick it up here. Another standard is fantastic for us. I can't believe this is coming through this late. Really good. And Sky Crew is great flood protection, so I'll take that as well. And then Sharpened Reflex is a decent trick. I like having it in my deck. Trumpeter is good. More Yeti synergies. Shiver, probably not going to get played, but we'll take it anyway. Master at Arms is a really nice late pickup. Portent Reader, I don't think we have anything with Echo, so probably won't make the deck. And Guard Dog is a nice last pickup. We got a ton of units, ton of playables in this draft. No attachments, no weapons whatsoever. So that's kind of interesting. You know, no changey stick, no helm. Could make it difficult to win some games because we're purely relying on our units to win the game essentially. And we don't even have that many spells, basically 8, because I'm going to count those standards as spells because I am not going to play them for power given how our deck turned out. But yeah, we've got quite a few units to cut, so let's get to work. Alright, so Oathkeeper is solid, Soldier is solid, Portal is solid, Duskgrader is solid, Portent Reader not so much. Probably don't need 2 Scaly Gruans. We've got a lot of early games, so might not even need this Scaly Gruan either, but we'll keep it there for the time being. Advanced Scout is fine, Crafty Yeti's good, Guard Dogs are good. Darkstalker doesn't really make sense since we don't have any other Nightfall. Treasurer is not going to be turned on enough because we've only got the 2 Workshop Tinkers, so that gets cut. Master at Arms is great, Silverwing Smith is great. We're heavy on 4s, so definitely going to have to cut some here. Confessor is great, Cyclops is great, Spikeback is great, Sky Crew is great, Slush Dumper is great, Torgov is great. Don't love Militant, so that's probably a cut. Don't love Augmenter, don't love Northwind Herald. We're still at 24 units, so we got to make some more cuts. We're going to have to make, I think, some tough decisions at the 4-drop slot. Let's get this other Scaly Gruan out of here. All this other stuff is pretty good. So we've got the Confessor, Cyclops, Spikeback, Sky Crew, Slush Dumper, Torgov. Maybe First Frost Shaman doesn't make the deck, just because we've got so many 4-drops. Still need to cut another 4-drop, I think. I don't think Shiver makes the deck either. Probably 2 more cuts at this point, because we want to curve out with this deck, and we want to get, you know, we don't mind getting up to 8 since we have Sky Crew. Slush Dumpers Ultimate is also something you can do with extra power, and we want to make sure these Crown Watch standards get turned into power. So definitely need a 18 power deck this time around. I think Spikeback is the weakest of our 4-drops, and I think we need to cut 1 2-drop and then we'll be pretty good. So the debate is between either Copperhall Porter or Argenport Soldier. You know, on 2, would I rather play Soldier or would I rather play Snowslinger or Tinker? I think I'd rather play like Snowslinger on turn 2, so I think that's reason enough to get Soldier out of here and just have the Copperhall Porter so that we can make sure we get to those higher levels of power. Alright, so let's look at the power. Don't have anything except these standards to add. The game doesn't like me going for that much power, but it doesn't recognize that I'm trying to make sure these are always spells. I don't want them to be power at any point. So yeah, my biggest concern with this deck is just how are we going to finish out the game. We don't have any really powerful spellcraft weapons or anything like that. So overall, this deck is pretty aggressive. We have to push through on the ground at first with tricks backing us up, and then hopefully win in the air late with cards like Sky Crew and some flyers as well. I also want to just say thank you for joining me in this 3rd episode, watching the draft and deck building portion. I hope you can join me for the game footage as well in the next video. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss when videos go live, since I can't post more than twice a week to the Eternal subreddit. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the videos. Alright, let's get into some games.